Okay, thank you. So, oh, today is the 14th, right? 14th meeting before the last meeting, and then final test. And so, who will present today?
Group 2, Pak.
Who?
Me and Raisa.
Okay, okay. Okay, because everybody is here, please go on to start the presentation.
Okay, share permission to share screen. Oke, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Here we group 2 will present that our PPT about the importance of motivation in organization. With the member Ni Rahma Satik, NIM 058 and Raisa Sapani NIM 070. The subject that we will discuss is motivational concept, and then motivation theories, types of the motivation, motivation tools, and Islamic motivation. First subject I will explain is about definition of motivation. Motivation comes from another word, motive, which means encouragement. Motive is defined as the power contained within the organism that encourage it to act or driving force. Motives do not stand alone, but are interrelated with other factors, both external and internal factors. Things that influence motives are called motivation. Michael J. Jusius mentioned motivation as the activity of giving encouragement to someone or oneself to take a decided action. Motivation is a physiological symptom in the form of encouragement that arises in a person consequently to perform an action with a specific purpose. Motivation can also be in the form of effort that can cause a person or certain group of people to be moved to do something because they want to achieve the goals they want or get satisfaction with their actions. Next is motivation concept. There are several concepts about motivation, including first, traditional models. To motivate employees to increase work enthusiasm, it is necessary to implement an incentive system in the form of money or goods for employees who excel. This model implies that managers determine how jobs should be done and use incentive-based system to motivate workers. More produce, more receive income. This model assumes that workers are basically lazy and can only be motivated by monetary rewards. Second, human relations models. To motivate employees to increase their morale is to acknowledge their social needs and make them feel useful and important. Employee social contacts with their workers are important. That boredom and repetitive tasks are factors that reduce motivation. Managers can motivate subordinates by meeting their social needs and making them feel useful and important. For example, employees are given various freedoms to make their own decision in their work. And the third is research model. Human employees are motivated by many factors, not just money or goods, but also the needs for achievement and meaningful work. This model states that employees are motivated by many factors, not only money or the desire to achieve satisfaction, but also the need to achieve and find meaningful work. They reason that most people are motivated to do a good job and that they don't automatically see work as something that cannot be fun. They suggest that employees prefer the fulfillment of satisfaction from a good job performance. Those employees can be given greater responsibility for making decisions and carrying out tasks. Next is motivation theories. The first is Abraham Maslow's theory of motivation or need theory. Abraham Maslow argued that basically all humans have basic needs. He showed it in 5 levels in the form of a pyramid. People start pushing from the lowest level. The 5 levels of need are known as Maslow's hierarchy of needs, starting from basic biological needs to more complex physiological motives, which will only matter after basic needs are met. The needs at one level must be at least partially satisfied before the needs at the next level become important determinant of action. In the lower, there is physiological needs: food, water, warmth, rest, and then the need for security, like feeling safe and protected away from danger, and then the need for love and belonging, or affiliation with other, acceptance, belonging, and then the need for award, esteem, achieve, become competent, and get support and recognition, and self-actualization needs. Cognitive need, knowing, understanding, and exploring. Aesthetic needs, harmony, order, and beauty.
Trust.
Next is Herzberg theory of motivation. According to Herzberg, there are 2 types of factors that encourage a person to try to achieve satisfaction and distance himself from dissatisfaction. These 2 factors are called Higini factor or extrinsic factor and motivating factor or intrinsic factor. Higini factors motivate a person to get out of dissatisfaction, including human relation, reward, environmental condition, and so on. And motivator factors motivate a person to try to achieve satisfaction, which includes achievement, recognition, progress in life, and etc. And then next is Douglas McGregor's theory of motivation. Put forward to humans' views, namely theory X are negative and theory Y or positive. According to theory X, there are 4 assumptions held by managers. The first, the employee inherently dislikes work, and then employees do not like their work to be supervised or threatened with punishment to achieve goals, and then employees will avoid responsibility, and most employees put security above all factors associated with work. In contrast to these negative views of human nature are for theory Y. The first, employees can view cooperation as normal as rest and play. And then people will exercise self-direction and self-control if they are committed to goals. And then the average person will accept responsibility and ability to take innovative decisions. Next is Fromm theory of motivation or expectation theory. Fromm's theory of cognitive theory of motivation explains why a person will not do something he believes he cannot do, even though he really wants the result of that work. According to Fromm, the level of a person's motivation is determined by 3 components, namely expectation of success in a task, and then instrumental, namely an assessment of what will happen if successful in carrying out a task, and then valence, namely the response to outcomes such as positive, neutral, or negative feelings, like motivation if the effort produces something that exceeds expectation, low motivation if the effort produced less than expected. And next is McClelland's achievement motivation theory or achievement need theory. The theory put forward by McClelland states that there are three important things that are human needs, namely need for achievement, need for affiliation, or the need for social relation are almost the same as Maslow's social need, and need for powers or encouragement to regulate. Next is Clayton Alderfer's theory of motivation, or the ERG theory. Clayton Alderfer put forward the theory of ERG motivation, which is based on the human need for existence, relentlessness, and growth. This theory is slightly different from Maslow theory. Here, Alfreder argues that if higher needs are not or cannot be met, then humans will return to a flexible movement from fulfilling needs from time to time and from situation to situation. And the last is goal setting theory. Edwin Luke argues that in setting goals, there are four kinds of motivational mechanism, namely clarity, goals direct attention, goals set the effort, objectives encourage persistence, and objectives support strategies and activity plans.
Okay, next, types of motivation. First, positive motivation or positive incentive. Positive motivation is the manager motivates or stimulates subordinates by giving gifts or rewards to those who excel above standard performance. With this positive motivation, the morale of subordinates will increase. Incentives given to employees above the standard can be in the form of money, facilities, goods, and others. Second is negative motivation or negative incentive. Negative motivation is managers motivating subordinates with standards they will get punishment. With the negative motivation, the enthusiasm for work of subordinates in the short term will increase because they are afraid of being punished. But in the long term, it can have negative consequences. Next. Motivational tools. In Hasibuan 2014 at 40, motivational tools or stimulative power given to subordinates can be in the form of material incentive and non-material incentive. Material incentives are material motivation in return for achievements given by employees, which include material incentives are in the form of money and goods. Non-material incentives are motivation or stimulus that are not in the form of material things. Included in the non-material is the right placement guarantee job, award certificate, service stars, fair treatment. Islamic motivation. The motivation for a Muslim work is not to pursue a hedonic life, nor to seek status, let alone to seek wealth by justifying any means, but as an obligation to worship Allah after other obligatory acts of worship, such as prayer, fasting, and pilgrimage. Islam is a religion that delivers human life to the welfare of the world and the hereafter, physically and spiritually. Islam also combines all material and spiritual values into one overall balance in order to make it easier for humans to live a life that has been determined by Allah's mercy and compassion in the afterlife. Motivation in Islam is an impulsive or psychological that makes a person seek and think of Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala as the creator of the universe. The urge to worship, ask for help, and ask everything only to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. As Allah says in Surah Ghafir, ayat 40:60, which means pray to me, I will surely allow it for you. In this verse, Allah commands people to pray to Him. If they pray, surely Allah will allow that prayer. Thank you for your attention. Any question from anyone?
Yes, go on. Ask question. Anybody? Okay, if there is not yet, please help me to share my my material, and I will send it to the group first. Okay, can you see the picture and link I share in the group? Okay, can you help me to share screen for presenter? Thank you. Can you share the link I give the slide share? How many minutes left? The slideshow. Push the slideshow, not video. The slideshow. The, wait. The slideshow. Uh, uh, that one. Okay. Thank you. Okay. Next slide. Motivation from Islamic perspective. Okay. So I will read and explain slowly. And actually, the slide presenter gave us today is quite complete, but I will add some. So motivation can be defined as that which drive us to action. Theories of motivation in literature reflect European worldwide and would not be applicable to the Muslim, according to the writer. So Muslims find their motivation in religion and cultural heritage. Muslim worship his Lord, and this is a powerful motivator, irrespectively of any material gain. So, well, actually, we still need a material life because in Islam we believe dunya hasanah wa fil akhirati hasanah. So not only in the world but also hereafter, all or akhirat, hereafter or akhirat. Motivation state that behavior is motivated by natural instinct such as love, attachment, fear, or anger. Some say that we are motivated by external reward. So by throw a question, what's the point of this? Why I'm here? We find to be difficult. We want to be meaningful in the long run. So uh, for Muslim, the point is for Muslim, we are not finished only in the world, but we believe that there is a life after life, right? Okay, next slide. The source of motivation in Islam. We have Al-Quran and the Sunnah, or the what Rasulullah, peace be upon him, Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, doing in the hereafter or akhirat, good companions, or the sahabat, sahabat, the jamaah also as our motivation. Allah creation means it is okay if we have motivation from what Allah create, such as material matter, and also if we have to do something for the loved one, for example, for a wife and children, for family, it is also no problem. And it actually it is an obligatory for Muslim for to give nafaqah for family, right? Especially if you are a husband. Okay, next. The motivation of Muslim worker derived from self-fulfillment, become a good people that contribute to society, religion, and nation. Because Rasulullah said also that khairun nas anfa'uhum linnas, right? That the best person is who give most who give most manfaat. What is manfaat in English? Who give most good effect for everybody, right? Upward mobility, uplift material standard of living, fulfill the need and want of society, and prevent poverty, right? This is important because, for example, that is why Islam also teach us to pay zakat, right? To prevent poverty. Service to the nation, serve to the country, example, army or police, and get reward by doing good deeds from Allah, right? It is also teach, touch for us that amar ma'ruf nahi munkar, right? To prevent the wrong and to tell everybody the right things, right? It is called Amar Ma'ruf Nahi Munkar in Islam, and it is also important. Next, believe us as a holder of amanah on earth. So it means in Islam we believe that human being is Khalifatullah, or the representation of Allah in the world, right? So a Muslim must work efforts from amal soleh, which is the key to attain true success in this world and also akhirat or hereafter. Work in work is a form of ibadah because it is in conformity with norms and values. So to get some money is not just working, but as a Muslim, we must have, for example, trustworthiness or honesty, and also Rasulullah himself got the title of Al Amin, right? The most honest person. So that is why honesty is important for us. And the reward and punishment are not confined to this world, but extend to the hereafter. So you know that in the world, the justice is not. Sometimes in the world, justice is not right. The justice is not fulfilled. That is why we as Muslim believe that there is still judgment day after life, right? Because in the world there is so many injustice, and judges in for human is not, uh, you know, human judges is not perfect. The best judge is God Himself. That is why we believe that there is no worry for a Muslim that if in the world get no having something injustice, because we believe someday there will be God Himself that give us reward or also punishment. Uh, that is why we must save our hand from doing bad things, right? Because the judgment is not only in the world. Okay, next. Okay, spiritual person as a Muslim concerned with the following: nafsul amarah. So let's say this is the motivation theory. For example, in conservative motivational theory, uh, we know we can study about X and Y theory, right? Just like what presenter today gave us. So in Islam, we also understand about these three type of human, three type of person. Nafsul amarah, negative motivation to the worries, lack of confidence, and do not respect the right of others. Nafsul lawamah, nafsul lawamah is self-motivated and will work as challenging. Normally, at this level of motivation, still mix with good and bad. Okay, but this one is better than amara. And the best type is nafsul mutmainah, the highest level of motivation, and offers work with full satisfaction purely for the sake of Allah, or we call it ikhlas in Islamic terminology, right? Okay, next. The factor for motivation. A Muslim views matters such as wages and other material benefit as a mean for food, clothing, and house. It's okay because it is so natural, and the nature of working is to get nafaqah, right? Internal stimuli. The human have freedom of choice of work. They are reward for any behavior. Some people tend to deceive to make behavior appear good. Bad behavior condemned by God. Good behavior reflect underlying faith. Okay, so if a person have a good faith, it will have also a good behavior. Just like Rasulullah said that innama bu'istu liutamima makarimal akhlak, right? Rasulullah himself is sending to the world, sent to the world by Allah to fix akhlak of mankind, right? Next incentive, reward for good behavior is Jannah and bad is Jahannam for believers. Okay, if we believe, we do believe also that every work is rewarded based on niyat. Okay, so uh, there is nothing unsuccess in Islam as long as we do it correctly and as for the sake of Allah. Even if we are fail, we still get reward or pahala, or what is it? Pahala in English. Reward in the hereafter. Okay, commitment, ikhlas, play a strong role for inner human drive. A Muslim character that stimulate motivation, syarafah, sense of losing face, or afraid of doing something right or something wrong, to save the izzah, or to save his honor. Tawab, reward, karam, generosity, bapak, fulfillment. Okay, next. Okay, next, I think we can skip this